Welcome into the Barstool College Football Show presented by Phillips Norelco. Guys, new season, new intro. What do you think?
I have a comment immediately. We couldn't have
Brandon
made
Walker,
my
by the way,
face-
welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. We couldn't have made my face animated like everybody else's.
I was actually hoping he would just go with Mark Davis's face.
That's a stereotype that I'm not willing to buy into.
Okay.
You
They
really
did
don't think
that
you look
last
like Mark
year.
Davis at all?
Not really. I'm a younger version of Mark Davis, much skinnier, not quite as rich, but my hair's a little bit better. I put gel in my hair this morning, and you didn't compliment me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can see
Ask
it.
him where he got his hair cut.
Where'd you get your haircut?
Sports clips for $19.
Of course you did. You're,
That's
yeah,
the most
you
obvious
yeah.
answer of all time.
Did you
$19.
talk about sports when you were there?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not, because my kids were with me, and I had to.
Did the barber? She was wearing a ref outfit. He or she?
She was,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I thought so.
She had many tattoos.
Well, welcome to the show. Yesterday on the rundown, by the way, Dan basically said you don't know anything about college
No,
football.
that's not what I said. That guy stinks. The Florida quarterback. Shout out Brandon Walker, who didn't know that he stunk. That's our college football guy.
We're off to a hot start.
I said that Brandon Walker knows a lot about college football. He's a stats guy, not a gut guy, so there will be interesting moments in this show when the eyeball test and the stats don't line up.
We'll talk about said team and player a little bit later.
Okay.
All right, we're also going to welcome in Jack Mack. He's going to be over there fact-checking us. Jack, what's up?
I didn't get it in the intro, so
So you're upset?
yeah.
Well, you're wearing makeup. You look very nice today.
Oh, thank you,
You do look
Kayce.
good.
They, by the way, did the same thing with your head last year in the intro. They didn't cartoonize it until I watched and said it looked weird. I just haven't seen anything. So
I
that,
think we should keep this.
Are you going to
kinda
fix
funny.
mine?
It is weird and a stunning lack of effort by the graphics team to be like, let's just put the real head, have everyone cartoonized, and the new guy will just put.
I think that was done on purpose.
No, it was not because they did the same exact thing last year. It's a lack of effort.
What did you say in that thing last year? My head was the same as last year.
But the first time I saw it, it was not. It was your actual head. I'm like, she should probably cartoonize like the rest of us. So they
remember
just, the easiest, the path of least resistance is what they did there.
So are we going to fix my head?
I could care less.
Okay.
Let's get right into the Bud Light Weekend Preview presented by Bud Light. Best way to enjoy college football game days are with refreshing crisps. Bud Light, we're going to go right into it. Number 9, Notre Dame at Louisville. Jack, what's going on this weekend?
Notre Dame is favored by 20 points
It's
at
Notre
Louisville.
Dame, Jack.
It's Notre Dame.
We're not doing this.
Notre Dame is favored by 20 points at Louisville with a total of 54.5 points. The Goodyear blimp will be at this game. ESPN will be telecasting from the blimp, and that is the only blimp that is in a sporting Hall of Fame. Interesting fact.
54.5, is that what you called the total?
Yeah, 54.5.
54,
Wait, what do you mean they're broadcasting from the blimp?
Never heard that said that way.
54 and a half, Jack.
54.5. They're broadcasting from the blimp, yeah.
Like Kirk Herbstreit's going to be in the blimp?
Marty Smith, yeah.
He's going to be in the blimp?
In the blimp.
Are you out on Marty?
No, they just do like we got one guy with a southern accent. Let's throw him into the show because we
into
need
a
him
blimp.
there.
Isn't that what
And
we
it's
did?
like this guy's an idiot.
The fastest way to
Brandon
for
Walker's
us,
great at killing everyone's joke.
the fastest way to act like we actually don't gamble and don't know what the spread is to call
54.5.
54.5.
That's a, you know what
Off
that
to a
was?
hot
That was a
start.
Bleacher Report
It's off
line
to a
right
hot
there.
start.
Yeah,
Jack
we
Mack.
would make fun of that, Jack man. 54.5.
That means that both teams have to score at least 55 points together for the over to hit.
Don't ever do that again.
This is really tough for Jack. Anyway, so back to the game. Louisville stinks. We know that. Notre Dame. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Louisville is dreadful. 2-10 last year. New coach coming from App State. Notre Dame obviously went to the playoff. I like Ian Book. I don't love Notre Dame, but they're going to beat the shit out of Louisville. I think they cover that with ease.
Okay.
Is that good?
I actually came in here thinking I was going to take Notre Dame, but everyone's saying Louisville stinks. I'm taking Louisville. Just because of that. If everyone says one team stinks on week 1 when we haven't seen either team.
They went
and
2-10 last year
I
and fired
understand.
Bobby
I
Petrino.
understand. Louisville is probably very, very bad, but I just know that the minute you say declarative statements on week 1, that's when you get burned.
Yeah, Louisville quit on Petrino last year. I remember that they lose to Syracuse by like 80.
Yeah.
It was like 80 at half.
Wouldn't you quit on that guy too, though?
Potentially, but that plays in. He's gone. So I mean, I don't. My guess is they still have some athletes at Louisville. I mean, they were good for a decent amount of time. Plus, I don't know, is it still called Papa John's Stadium? He got in trouble and he
He's
had
a
the
Kentucky fan now, yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
whatever. But Louisville at night opening game, that'll be a loud, ruckus crowd. 20 points is a ton. I'm gonna take Louisville. I think Notre Dame wins, but it's gonna be a little bit closer maybe than people think.
Their quarterback's nickname is Puma. I just don't like that.
Jawan Pass. I don't like that name
I
either.
have no idea who that is.
Jawan Pass.
Yeah. Quarterback's name
I
is
feel
Pass.
good about 20 points.
I have no idea. It's Louisville. I mean, I have no idea. I mean,
That's a lot of points to lay on the road, but
Thanks, genius.
Notre Dame is a playoff contender. They're a playoff contender. They could go 10-2, 11-1, and Louisville is garbage.
so what's that mean? 20 points is what? That's why they're a 3-touchdown favorite.
I know. Then they're going to cover that. That's why they're going to cover it. They're so
All right.
much better.
I'm going to take Notre Dame. I like Ian Book, and I think Louisville is absolute trash, and I'm sad Bobby Petrino's not there, so we can't make fun of him. The next game is Northwestern at number 25, Stanford. Jack, let's try this one again.
Stanford is a 6.5-point favorite with a total of 47.5. And an interesting fact about this game is Stanford will not open their dorms for the student body until 20 days after kickoff.
Does that matter? Stanford doesn't
No,
have fans
absolutely.
anyway.
Stanford Stanford's a school that doesn't sell out Pac-10 championship games.
Right.
I don't think it matters.
Right.
I think it does matter that their students aren't going to be
The
there.
point
But
is that they don't
they don't
care
go
when
anywhere.
they are there.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's kind of
It's a
similar to
weird thing that they're
Northwestern.
not just opening their dorms out for 20 days. That's weird.
Both
That's
these,
when school starts.
Yeah.
So they're just nobody's going to be there.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there'll be like people who live around there and some of the students, but generally, I think the dorms open when school starts.
Right. And they're probably
how
on
it
the
works.
quarters or something or whatever system. I don't even know. But
What do you think
both
about
these-
Northwestern?
Both these teams are used to playing, games in front of no one.
I'm not going to give it away, but it's kind of giving it away. This is my mortal lock.
It's
of the
absolutely
week.
giving it away.
Why? You don't know who I'm taking?
Okay.
Northwestern. This is a replay of that game when Northwestern beat Stanford week 1, and I'm pretty sure David Shaw punted from Northwestern's 35.
If you're Stanford, you're right at the edge of field goal range. Stanford has been playing this incredibly conservatively. I know that's their system, but
Robinson trying to pooch it inside the 10.
I mean, you
had the forward spin, and it goes into the end zone.
Yeah, so you're gaining essentially 18 yards of field position with that punt. This is entirely too conservative, I think.
And he'll do it again.
He will punt from we go over this every year. He will punt from the plus 20 on 4th and 1.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure Stanford, who's their quarterback? KJ Costello again?
KJ Costello.
That's the same guy as the last 3 guys.
What about-
the Keller
It's
Chris,
exact
Kevin
same guy.
Hogan, KJ Costello? All 3 are the exact same guy.
And Northwestern probably has the same quarterback they've had for the last 100
they
years.
have
Clayton
Trent
Thorson's
Green's
gone.
son.
Yeah,
Or
Clayton Thorson's
Hunter
gone.
Johnson, a 5-star transfer from Clemson.
Right.
It's either going to be Trent Green's son or Hunter Johnson. I think it's going to be Hunter Johnson, but I like Northwestern to win the game.
Northwestern went 8-1 in the Big Ten last year, and nobody talks about it. Like, why did nobody give them credit at all?
Well, I mean, I give them credit. I think people
But
talk
usually
about
when you
it.
talk about the Big Ten, Northwestern
Well, they
doesn't
play
come
Well, they
up.
won.
Well,
they,
that's
it was
because
the first
you have
time
a
they did
monster
it.
like Michigan.
They play on the boring side of the Big Ten. Everything happens in the Big Ten East where Michigan and Ohio State are. Nothing happens in the Big Ten West, but I think
They should
Northwestern's pretty
actually.
good.
It's tough. Michigan, Ohio State should be the title game, and they should be allowed to play for the title game in the Big Ten. Whatever. Bottom line is this.
Just change the rules.
Yeah,
The
Bottom line
under.
is what?
I can't give away my pick.
The under. And
Who's going to Kirk
Northwestern.
Herbstreit it? You're taking the under? And
The under and Northwestern.
Well, I'm not hurt.
I'll go 2
No, I'm
picks.
saying
picks
because
later in the game.
Yeah.
Well, he never.
Well, he doesn't give it because he's announcing. Mine is the mortal lock. It's a different segment
Just take
of the
the
show.
under as the pick here. There's no way they're going to score 48 points.
You're on a lot of unders this year for a
Listen,
guy who's preached the
all I'm
over.
going to say is I preach the over, so when I tell you an under, that means I really like the under.
Okay.
I like Northwestern money line. I like Northwestern to win the game. I don't care about the 6.5 points. I think Stanford's very overrated at 25. They've been overrated for about 5 years now. Northwestern's going to beat them.
I know Bryce Love was a non-factor last year. He's not back, though. They're going to be struggling. I'm going to take Northwestern as well. Let's go to game number 3. This one's my personal favorite. It's going to be Houston at number 4, Oklahoma. Jack, what do you got?
Oklahoma is a 22.5-point favorite. The total is an astounding 82.5.
Woo!
There will be Boomer Sooner played a lot. In 2018, Boomer Sooner was played over 1,100 times at Oklahoma games.
Where are we coming up with these stats?
1,100
Where are we
times.
coming up with these stats?
And Dave, you're a big OU fan last year.
No, I was against them. Who's the quarterback this year? I don't think.
Jalen Hurts.
From Alabama.
Oh.
So give me your Jalen Hurts take.
My take is Jalen Hurts is an absolutely 100% average quarterback who's going to a great system. He'll put up numbers, but he can't beat any good teams in the playoffs, and he is absolutely not a Heisman contender. It's ridiculous.
But
Won
isn't
national
that-
title in the
Isn't that
playoffs,
what
right?
Oklahoma always is? Like Oklahoma is always a very good team that can't beat anyone in the playoffs.
Correct, but I think Jalen Hurts isn't on the level of Mayfield and
Definitely not. But I think
Did they beat Oregon in the playoffs?
it's more.
When did that happen?
Was that not a playoff game, the Rose Bowl?
Oklahoma hasn't won a playoff game to my knowledge.
They
They
got-
haven't played
yeah,
for the
they-
national
That was
title.
in the Rose Bowl when they played Oregon. Did they
They
win or
played
lose that
Georgia
game?
in the Rose Bowl.
I thought that. And they lost.
Remember? Yeah, that was
Oklahoma's-
Baker.
close game.
I
That was
believe
Baker's
Oklahoma's
game.
0-3 in playoff
They
games.
were Oklahoma was killing them in the first half.
Didn't look good last year.
Jalen Hurts, I kind of agree with you that I don't think he's something special, but I just think it's a bet on Lincoln Riley.
That's what he said on the podcast. Shout out Unnecessary Roughness. He said that he likes quarterbacks in quarterback-friendly systems that plays in conferences that have bad defense, but he doesn't like Jalen Hurts at OU.
The Big 12 has pillow fight defenses. They're
But that's what I'm
terrible.
saying. So you should like Jalen Hurts there because he's already
I
played
like
in a
him. I don't
conference where
love
they
him.
have
He's,
actually
he's
played
an
defense.
average quarterback.
Also,
I like him. I don't love him.
When you say not Heisman worthy, like if you have Heisman hype going into the season, you already are Heisman worthy because that's basically that's like 90% of the
I
narrative.
don't
You need
think-
to have it going in.
I guess so, but Khalil Tate had Heisman hope last year.
Well,
and
he
fell
was
out of it immediately.
especially bad.
He fell out immediately.
Right.
He was also injured and playing for Kevin Sumlin, not Lincoln Riley.
Jalen Hurts could fall out of contention. They lose a game to Texas, and he looks like shit. He's out of contention.
Is he a Heisman candidate?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in the top 10.
he
Everybody's
was
saying.
talked about
Because of Lincoln Riley, because of
And 'cause
Oklahoma.
he played-
should
and
have
'cause
been.
he played at
He's
Alabama.
just a name. That's all he is.
He will
He
put up
played-
insane numbers.
Well, he's a little more than a name.
He won a national title.
Yeah.
When Tua came in and won it for him.
Wait, but didn't
He led them to a
No.
national title, and
He
Deshaun
led
Watson
them
won.
and then won
Yeah,
one.
Deshaun
Okay,
Watson
yeah.
won that. But still, I mean, it's
he
not
won,
like he's
but what was his record as a starter?
26
24-2 before Tua took his job.
I mean, you can't be. I know Alabama's unbelievable and has great defense and all this stuff. You can't be 24-2
He
and
is
bad.
proof of how average
Thank
you can be
you.
at quarterback and still win big at Alabama.
But then again, what you just said, I agree with. But he's going to the most quarterback-friendly program and the guy who is "quote unquote" a genius in Lincoln Riley, which I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. So you're saying he's going from a quarterback-friendly place to an even more quarterback-friendly place, but he's going to be worse.
against worse defenses.
It is a quarterback-friendly place, and I guess he's a really good quarterback coach. That's what we've seen so far. But how much is it that he plays Big 12 defenses that suck?
But
They
again,
suck.
what is your what's
but
your
what's the-
point?
what's the
He's
point?
going to put up big numbers and be a Heisman candidate.
That he cannot. He's not going to be a Heisman candidate because he's going to fail at some point.
Okay,
along
all
the
right.
line.
Now I understand it. Okay. All
Is
right.
OU's
He's not
defense
going
going
to
to be
win
better,
big
though?
games.
I just was, yeah, I think he's going to, I think the fact that he's playing for Lincoln Riley and the fact he's playing in the Big 12, he's going
Can
to
we
have a
talk
fantastic.
about Houston and
Yeah,
Dana
let's talk about
Holgorsen?
Houston.
De'Aaron King.
They're going to cover this game.
Are they?
Yes.
I don't
because
know
Oklahoma's
anybody on
defense stinks and De'Aaron King had 50 touchdowns last
In
year.
11 games.
And if
Is
Dana
that,
Holgorsen.
is that the fast little kid who plays quarterback?
He was
for
a wide
Houston?
receiver a couple of years ago. And if Dana Holgorsen has his quarterback, which this is his quarterback, he can do anything.
Okay, I
Yeah,
like
but
that.
Houston's defense is no
Don't
good at
care.
all.
Don't care. To cover 23 points or 22 and a half points, you can't give up the points that
I
Oklahoma
agree with
will give
that.
up.
But night game at Oklahoma and that Boomer Sooner 1,100 times. But I didn't know the quarterback who it was at Houston. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of these people. I gotta start watching the games. It doesn't matter. I bet on uniforms early. I do like Hunter Scrim. I like that kid. He's very good. That
Yes.
quarterback. All right, I'm on
He
Houston.
played wide receiver like as
2
early
years
as
ago.
last year. I think he started the season
might
last
have,
year.
yeah.
All right, I'm taking
So
Houston.
you're taking Houston. Let's just
I
do
flipped
that.
there.
You flipped?
Yeah, I was on Oklahoma. I didn't know the quarterback was. I didn't know that kid was
And
bad.
if Holgorsen has a quarterback, it's just a completely different.
Do you think that Dana is going to have immediate success there?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
because the quarterback. He
Yeah.
won. And the conference stinks.
Conference does stink. I love Dana Holgorsen.
Also,
but
Oklahoma's offensive line. I know you can't like they had what did they have all four guys,
Yeah.
4 out of 5 guys got drafted last
Yeah,
year.
but that doesn't matter for Oklahoma. Oklahoma's the same. They always
But it
have
was
the best
special
talent.
last year. My point is, and now you're going to go new offensive line game 1. This is the time to
But
take.
their
Was it
defense was
special?
also so bad last year. It's going to get better with Alex
I
Cruz. so
actually,
it's maybe
I
gonna
could
even
see
out.
Houston winning this game.
Yeah.
While we talk.
There you go,
No.
Dave.
Yeah, I just
Let's
said
go.
it.
Christ.
Let's
What?
go.
I just said it.
We're going to
Let's
argue
go.
about Oklahoma again
Why?
this
I was
year.
right. Who was right last year?
I was right. They made it
No,
to the
I was
playoffs.
go,
right.
Dave.
I was
I mean,
right.
they made it to the playoffs.
I was right.
Coach Dana's got him.
Jesus.
I'm not on either team. I like over 82. I think Oklahoma's going to score 60. Houston's going to score 30.
That's one of those overs, and I love betting
I know
overs
it's
that
high
big,
as shit,
but
but-
if you have 5 minutes with no points, you're fucked.
But you're not going to. In
I
this
know,
game.
I know.
I'm going to go Houston money line.
Jeez.
That will actually, that's pretty close to the.
Get my 84 units back.
It's week 1, and I'm going to ride with OU just because I want to argue with Dave about it all year. That's a terrible pick by you.
Well, we'll see. That's the beauty of this thing. They play. We'll find out, won't
Put
we?
me down for
We
the
will
over
find
as
out.
well.
Won't we, Kayce? We'll find out.
We will sure find out, and Jalen Hurts is going to be way better than Brandon Walker thinks. Anyways, let's let Caleb talk about the concussion protocol in Athens. They're selling alcohol now at the SEC schools, and he dives right into it.
Let's be honest. Athens, Georgia has a huge drinking problem.
With 80 bars in a single square mile,
Just looking at a map of UGA will make you feel like you just partied with Steve Sarkisian. The booziest city in the United States per capita, Athens once killed a man with 2 livers. However, going into the 2019 season, rampant alcoholism isn't the drinking problem this town's worried about. This season is the first that the SEC will allow schools to sell alcohol in common areas of the stadium, while teams like Missouri, LSU, and Tennessee will open up the floodgates to the rich and poor alike. That isn't the case in Georgia. Bulldog Athletic Director Greg McGarity announced that not only would alcohol sales not be available to common fans in Sanford Stadium, but to qualify for a cup of beer at the game, you have to donate a minimum of $25,000.
Yeah, the new alcohol policy, you know about it.
I do, yes.
What do you think about it?
Obviously not in favor of it.
My initial reaction is like, whoa.
I don't really think that's fair, just because we do pay for tickets to go to the games, just like everyone else.
$25,000 seems a little steep if the rest of the SEC is going to allow it.
$25,000 is more than just steep. It's damn near vertical. And while the rich and powerful might just laugh it off as they hang out here, or here, these poor students, and I mean poor, aren't laughing at all. Wannabe drinkers with less than $25,000 have to resort to a life of crime and smuggling. You ever see students, bringing in alcohol that they're not supposed to?
People slip through the cracks. You see things, not so good things happen.
You said they put it in their cracks?
No, they slip through the cracks.
Have you ever witnessed someone try to put a flask in their pocket or something?
I'm more so it's the airplane bottles.
You ever put an airplane bottle in your grundle?
Yeah, no, never done that. Never done that. Heard a few people who have, but that's not my move.
Each person has their own unique way of getting alcohol in, but
What's your way?
I'll just put it in my pocket and just wear a baggy shirt.
Nice. Unfortunately, not everyone can afford baggy shirts, and even fewer can afford to spend hard time in prison as a convicted smuggler. To make this situation right, I met with the leader of the Georgia fan base to figure out how we could best honor the wishes of UGA in 2019. Well, this is my thing. If Georgia wanted students and poor people to be drinking, then they wouldn't charge $25,000. So tell me this, what can we do, me and you, to stop people from bringing in flasks, airplane bottles, other miniature devices that I don't even know have been created yet?
We got to get more into the game.
Yeah.
Like Spike Squad, my 4 years here, we've done a pretty good job of being hype ourselves. Yeah. I'd love for people to come in, join in, get as hype as we do.
Curtis, the Spike Squad captain, was not only hype, but open-minded, and we discussed some very good ideas. Oh, dude, what if we did this? What if we hand out Tylenol packets as people walk in the stadium, and that way we'll be able to tell who's been drinking based on who has liver failure. Everyone has to, as they enter the student section, has to cut a little tiny cut on their lip. That way the alcohol burns real bad if they drink it. What if there's like a raffle or something and someone wins a Ford F-150 at maybe halftime, and then they get to drive it away, but if they've been drinking and their blood alcohol content's too high, then they'll get a DUI on the big screen and get a ticket written by Kirby Smart.
I mean, a ticket by Kirby Smart would be kind of funny.
Because we don't want anybody to get in trouble. As a safety net, if someone has been drinking, we'll hire a priest to be there, and then if they get in trouble, he can come over and say, yo, this was just communion.
These are funny ideas, but also we could just, as students, be accountable of each other and ourselves.
Curtis, the Spike Squad captain, was right. It's up to the community to rectify this situation. By putting our heads together and bellies, we were able to come up with a cool and progressive alternative to make narking cool again. It's called the Watchdogs. Finally, a street team to ensure the sobriety of poor people. There might be a lot of bread in Italy, but that doesn't make the Vatican a bakery. Yeah, there's 80 bars in Athens, but that doesn't mean Sanford Stadium is one of them.
So this 2019 season, if you're a poor person, don't get a job. Instead, volunteer as a member of the Watchdogs.
That's insane that they're charging 20. I don't understand how they can do that. That seems un-American. The hat, though, is fire. You were talking about that. Run the damn ball.
I mean, it just means you have to be sitting in a suite. They're just saying that to make it seem like you have to pay $25,000 a drink, but you just have to be sitting in a suite to get alcohol.
It's crazier that it's taken this long for schools to actually let them
but
do
if
it.
the other SEC schools are doing, by the way, it's an advantage to the other SEC schools
I think
because
only
the
like
crowd's going to be wild.
LSU?
Only 3 are opening it to like the
LSU,
general public.
Tennessee.
LSU at night and everyone can stay drunk?
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's already drunk anyways.
But there's a difference. There is a difference where, like, if you don't have to smuggle it in, you can keep that. You can maintain that level of drunk.
Big difference.
But college kids can't afford to go buy like $7 beers anyways. They're doing it. There's been smuggling it. That's a good point by me.
Yeah. What do you want, a pat on the back?
Yeah,
That's a good point. We're on a show. You're supposed to care what? Every time someone makes a good point, you throw a touchdown dance.
I'm just saying, put that on the board. I'm just saying they're already drunk. It doesn't really fucking matter if they're now selling alcohol to the students.
All right, we get it. You made a good point.
Okay, well, then we'll just go right back to more Bud Light Weekend preview. Speaking of Georgia, they are playing Vanderbilt. It's an SEC matchup. It's a terrible matchup. But number 3 Georgia at Vandy. Laura Rutledge game of the week. I'm bringing that back this year, by the way.
Ooh. Do you see? I saw on Instagram the other day. Best friends. You weren't in it. She's like, hey, my best friend, but
I wasn't there.
There's a girl to her left, girl to her right.
2
Welcome,
other
my
girls.
best friend. Yeah.
How many best friends can someone have?
It's tough.
I mean, I was there the weekend
Do
before.
you
I was
know?
there for the first
Did
baby
it say
shower.
best friends on it?
Yeah.
On yours?
On hers about me when I met her dog.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I got
Wait,
to-
you just
There's
met
two
her
girls,
dog?
best friends.
When did
just
you
met
get her dog?
She's had it for a while. I don't go to like her house.
Oh, whoa. That's not.
A dog's a big event in
Yikes.
somebody's life.
You don't know her dog and you're best friends?
I've FaceTimed with her dog. Does that count?
No.
She's at Georgia Vanderbilt?
Yeah, that's where SEC Nation is.
Yikes.
I thought she was like the 18.
Well, she's not. She's having a baby, so she's not on the sidelines this year.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Jack, take it away.
Georgia is a 21-point favorite at Vanderbilt. The total is at 57.5 right now. A little interesting fact about this game. In 1921, the first successful onside kick occurred in a game between Georgia and Vandy. It resulted in a touchdown and happened on a punt.
An onside kick on a punt?
Yep.
So a safety
How'd
kick?
that work?
Back in the day,
That
you could
doesn't even-
put
I don't think that
somebody
even is a rule.
behind the punter, and then you would kick it, and as long as you were behind the punter when he kicked it, you could go and recover it.
I don't
And
understand.
They just did anything in 1921.
Wait, what?
So we can draw it,
Nah.
but you have a punter,
Correct.
then there's another guy behind him.
Some CFL bullshit.
I know.
Another guy on
Like
your
on
team?
your team. So one of the 11 guys on the field. And then if you kicked it, as long as the guy was behind the punter when the ball was kicked, that guy could run down the
actually like
field.
that
I love that.
We should
And
have
the
that.
XFL should do it.
Yes. That's
Dave's-
actually
Dave's
brain's
there's
in a
one
press,
guy
but
who
he's
can
still-
just recover. There's
Starts
only one guy on
behind
the
the punter.
field, and he can recover. That's a great rule.
And then the guy picked it up and scored a touchdown to tie the game. It was in the fourth
That's-
quarter.
What a play call that was.
Do you process
Wait,
this yet? or-
but, all right. So if you can't not field the punt then?
No,
Like-
you can.
Yeah, you can.
Well, what if the other guy just goes and picks it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pick it
How
up
do you-
before him.
You gotta
But
get
I'm
there
saying,
first.
like, a lot of times guys walk away from a punt.
Right.
It's only one guy, and he starts behind the punter.
Yeah, but
so you
how,
can
so you
account for
can't
the.
ever walk away from a punt.
Correct.
No, you should.
You got to fall on it.
So it's a whole different rules.
Yeah, I like it.
We're not going to do it in the CTE era. We're not.
Okay. No, I know.
But it would be fun to watch if you can understand.
I mean, it's a
what
whole
it is.
different. It's like we're talking about a different sport. I mean, it's
Maybe
crazy.
Michigan
It's
will win a national
1921.
championship if we brought this rule back. It was the last time they won one.
Anyway, back to this game. I mean, Vanderbilt, they stink. Derek Mason, 9-31 in SEC play in the last 5 years. Like, there's no way this game's even close.
Well, Georgia ate a ton of money early last year. They were not good. They started slow. They were winning games, but they weren't winning them
Missouri
impressively. Yeah,
That we
balls
lost,
off helmets.
Todd
and
McShay was up in the fucking construction site. He did it, and he's like, "I'm here at the new construction site for
Wait,
Missouri
no.
Stadium." Like,
I
who
thought I
cares?
won Missouri, Georgia. I took Missouri. They
Yeah,
won. They covered.
yeah. That's what I'm
Missouri
saying.
covered.
Georgia was bad. at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beginning of
yeah,
the
right.
season.
Yeah,
Yes.
Georgia ate money as the chalk. They weren't covering.
Correct.
Vanderbilt. Do they still
I
have
know.
the Giants kid?
Kyle
son?
Schirmer?
No.
Schwarmer? He's
No.
gone.
No,
He's
you
gone.
love him.
Like
That
a Ball
Notre
State
Dame
transfer.
game.
Where is
They
it?
got a transfer from Ball State named
And
Riley
as
Neal.
of right now, when we're recording this, they have not named a starting
I
quarterback
like
yet.
Vanderbilt in this
They
game.
got some good skill players. They
And
got
they
a really good
decent
running back.
defense, right? And here's the thing with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt will play well until
They get their
Alabama takes their soul.
I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take under 57.5. I said 2 touchdowns. I think Vanderbilt might not score very much at all. Georgia's going to beat the shit out of them. I like under.
So this is my problem with the math here. The total is 57.5.
That is correct.
You're saying you expected Georgia to win by at least 40.
Uh,
And you said that you think Vanderbilt will score 2 touchdowns. So at the minimum, you have a score of 40-14.
Right.
The
And
total,
that's not them winning by 40.
no, that's less.
Right.
So you actually have to now go 44-14, which now you're at the over.
You mean I would have to go 54-14?
54-14,
which is now the
correct.
over.
All I
Which
can
is
see is
fine, which
Allen
is
with a hangover
over,
right
but
now.
I just was throwing a number out there as we were in context of talking. If I'm
It's
actually
way
talking
over.
about...
That's actually way over.
If I'm
right?
talking
54
about betting
plus-
this game-
54 plus 14, 68.
I
You're
don't-
over by 10 points.
I don't think Vanderbilt scores much at all. I'm going under right
Do
here.
you like Vanderbilt's defense?
Not really. They're
Okay.
just okay. And their offense, they have a Ball State quarterback against Georgia with
How
all
many
this
points do
talent.
you think Vanderbilt's going to score?
6.
Okay. So you think the score will be 46-6?
Jack's doing the math over there, by the way.
52.
I don't know where Georgia falls in line here.
Well, you got
2
to.
field
What do
goals,
you
they're
mean?
going to miss an extra point.
I don't know what they're going to do. I just think Vanderbilt's going to be
So
destroyed.
can I ask you another dumb question?
Please.
Why don't you just take Georgia?
That would
You think
make
they're going to win
sense.
by 40?
3
The spread's
touchdowns.
21.
Well, I'm going to
That
take
seems like the more logical play.
You've actually talked me into taking Georgia.
I'm going to take Georgia and the under.
Okay, but Georgia should be a stronger play because we've done the math. You're going to skate by on the
Yeah.
under by
You
maybe
were
a
trying
field
to take
goal.
Vanderbilt, and you said that
Are you
Georgia's
trying
going
to
win
work
by
on
40?
another point?
No,
Are you trying to
he
get a
wasn't
point for the
touching
board?
the side.
I'm
No,
taking
I'm
Georgia on
curious.
his reasoning to take the under. He talked me into Georgia
All right.
without even talking
New
about
pick.
Georgia.
New
That
pick.
was so stupid.
New
It's
pick.
almost preposterous what you just did.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
love
know
Georgia
what
now.
math we're doing.
By
fine.
him talking about the under.
I'm on Georgia.
Okay,
Give me
great.
Georgia.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But you have to stick with the under.
That was crazy.
Taking Georgia and the under.
Georgia's going to win by 40. My pick is the under. The spread is 21.
All right. I love Georgia now.
I love Georgia too.
Team Georgia.
Vanderbilt is terrible. I don't know why
But-
anybody would not love
Team
Georgia at this
Georgia.
point.
Just so to set the record straight, it's equally stupid that you guys are now taking Georgia based on his pick. Based
I was
on
gonna
the
take
fact
Georgia
that he was
anyway.
taking the under.
It was so stupid. That's why it's beautiful, because he would like walk into this game taking the under, loving Georgia, and I'm gonna sneak in the back door and take Georgia.
I'm taking Vanderbilt. It's all based. I don't think Georgia shows up. They win, but it's closer than what you think. At night, can be rowdy at Vanderbilt. Nashville, the bars, country scene.
Yeah, on
country-
Broadway,
It's
not in
ever
the
rowdy at
stadium,
Vanderbilt.
Dave.
It's not rowdy.
What?
It is one
On
thing.
Broadway, it's rowdy, not in the
It's
stadium.
never
All right.
rowdy at Vanderbilt.
Okay, we'll see opening night. Under lights, we'll see if it's
Has
rowdy.
it ever been
Brandon's
rowdy?
right. It's gonna be half Georgia fans.
It's
gonna be more than half.
more
Whatever-
Georgia fans.
Whatever, it's rowdy.
It could be rowdy, but not
All right,
for
okay,
Vanderbilt.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's
Yeah.
rowdy. All right, we'll see. That was the stupidest thing. If we keep track of stupidest thing in the entire season, that could be number one. That
I
pick.
think you
Jack, you
saying
should keep
I think
track
you
of
saying
that.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt would be raucous was pretty rough.
I
Yeah,
said
that-
the
You didn't say
stadium.
That's a bad
by who
take.
though.
I said the stadium will be ruckus, and it will be. Watch the game. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but you also were saying it for Vanderbilt fans.
No,
Because you said
no.
it's a night game at
No, no,
Vanderbilt,
no,
it's going to be loud
That's
and
a
crazy.
very rough
It's
take.
exactly
No,
what
you
you
were
said.
on Vanderbilt's side when you explained that.
Listen.
You were using it in an
Listen,
argument of why
listen,
you're taking Vanderbilt.
Electricity in the crowd matters. Vanderbilt players. Oh, Georgia is
What if
electric
it's in
everywhere.
favor of Georgia?
Yeah, but Georgia doesn't care. Georgia is electric everywhere they go. Their players are going to sleepwalk as Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is used to being in a nap situation.
You just talked yourself out of that.
I love Georgia now,
I love Georgia.
Fine, I'm on Vanderbilt.
just because of Brandon Walker.
I like
And
on
you're
record.
under.
I was on Georgia first, but Dave is still dead wrong about Vanderbilt. You going to admit that?
In what sense?
Never mind. You're wrong
About what?
about if Vanderbilt is going to be rowdy or not.
The stadium will be rowdy. I guarantee it.
Just sit there in
One
your
way or the
wrongness.
Well, the beauty of this is we'll be able to see.
You're wrong.
Sit there.
You're a dummy.
I'm not a dummy.
I like Georgia by 40, so I'm going to take
That's
the
not
under.
how I sound.
Let's move on to the number one game of the week, the only ranked, unranked matchup. Number 11, Oregon versus number 16, Auburn. This is a neutral site. It's at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Jack, what do you got?
Oregon is currently a 3.5-point underdog to Auburn, and the total is at 55.5. Interesting fact about Auburn is Gus Malzahn, since he got to Auburn, has not produced a first-round draft pick that he recruited.
Whoa.
In that same time frame, UConn football has infinity% more first-round draft picks.
Well, no one cares about UConn, but Gus Malzahn stinks. We all know that.
He hasn't produced a first-round pick in 5 years, is what the number is, and it's ridiculous because they recruit top 10 level every year. I think Oregon and Auburn, this is by far the best game. These games stink, they're trash.
You're right.
But I love Oregon so much here because
I do too.
I'm very much down on Auburn. I'm very much down on Gus Malzahn. I think he doesn't make it out of September.
I'd agree with that. I think he's going to get fired. He should have been fired last year.
This is a
And the year before.
classic Dan game right here, you know, thing, because I went in, look, I circled Auburn on my sheet 1,000 times, and you're sitting here like Joe Dummy, Joe Public, Joe Idiot, all be like, Oregon, Herbert comes back. Why is he coming back? He's special year, this, that. Everyone loves him. Guess who the favorite is? Field goal and a half, Auburn.
Auburn.
But everyone's like, oh, Oregon,
Well, that's
Oregon,
because
Oregon.
Here's why, Dave. Oregon
Oregon
is
better.
playing for their entire conference. This is a Pac-12 game. Pac-12 basically has been irrelevant for the last whatever many years.
So you're on Oregon too?
I am on Oregon. Here's why, though. Best offensive line in the country.
That's right.
Mario Cristobal. I'm taking Oregon. I don't believe. Listen, Auburn's defense is going to be great.
I like Cristobal.
I know. And Auburn's defense, the one thing you always got to worry about when you go Pac-12 versus SEC is will the defensive line for SEC just kick the shit out of the offensive line? That won't happen in this game. So that's why I like Oregon. Any other setup, I would have been like, you know what? Take the SEC game because they always got those dudes.
Yeah.
They got those fucking 300-pound dudes that run 4.40s on the defensive line. Oregon actually has the offensive line.
And Oregon also has 7 starters on defense returning, and Auburn starting a true freshman quarterback.
This is for the conference.
Again, I agree with everything you're saying. If I didn't know what the spread was, you said Oregon, Auburn, neutral site, opening game. Pick 'em slight favorite Oregon.
But that's SEC bias. Everyone
but the
just
quarterback,
eats that shit up.
No, everyone knows about the quarterback. Everyone
I
knows.
understand.
Yeah, I'm on Auburn.
Okay.
This switch, by the way. I circled Oregon 1,000 times listening to you guys.
You like Oregon from last year, too.
I know.
That was one of your teams.
So why do you not like them this year in comparison?
Because I'm listening to all you guys make it seem so easy.
I mean, Auburn's quarterback's name is Bo Nix, which, by the way, is the most SEC name of all time.
That's a great name.
Bo Nix.
I feel like that's a name that's being recycled through the SEC.
Well, his dad played at Auburn 20 years ago, Patrick Nix.
Oh, there it is.
It was very good. Yeah, it was very, very good.
I'm taking Auburn. I love Auburn.
You like a true freshman quarterback who played at Auburn? I mean, I understand that, but
Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Think about that. Think about you get the number 1 draft pick versus a true freshman. I know it's SEC Pac-10. I get it. The
I know
fact
what
that
you're saying.
Auburn is
I know what
favored
you're
by
saying.
3.5 points is crazy.
No, I know what you're saying.
I like the money line because I think Oregon's going to win flat out.
Of course,
they're going to win.
Of course you. You're Joe Public.
I'm not Joe Public.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you for calling her Joe Dummy and me Joe Public. I appreciate
And him
that.
Joe Idiot. He's called it.
The money line's not going to be enough to like plus 3.5 is going to matter.
I just want to put my nuts out there and say I had the money line.
But that's not a nuts money line game. A nuts money line game is 7-up.
No, that's probably you're probably plus 140, plus 150.
That's not a nuts.
You're getting a little bit though.
That's a big difference, but.
No, I know, but I'm saying if you want to put your nuts out for a money line, it has to be a touchdown or more.
I also like
his money line earlier.
I like
Yes.
the over too.
Yes, the Houston money line. That's a put your nuts out money line.
Yeah, that's a big ball.
That's give away
That's
your
the
money.
worst
money
He put his dick down your throat.
I bet you can't. I bet a lot of places you can't even do that.
Yeah, that's how big balls it is.
Yeah.
They don't even allow Davey Big Balls to walk in the door looking for a Houston
I'm
money
going to put 10
line.
grand right on that money line. Try to win 400 grand.
They're gonna lose in the
500
last
grand,
second.
600 grand.
They're gonna lose like 4th and goal on the 8.
Well, I'll do it both.
You would deserve to lose that because you're going against Oklahoma just to spite.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, Brandon Walker, about this guy right here.
Yeah.
When I don't know if he's hot right now, but if he gets hot at any point, it only lasts for a couple weeks, but you got to ride it because he sees it.
Is it easy to recognize it?
Oh yeah.
Dan,
2015 when you went like 83-3 in college basketball?
Bookie shut me off.
Someone emailed us and like tracked it all and was like, this is actually statistically impossible.
Yeah.
Last
he had to
year,
buy a
Dan
whole
described
dinette
it
set.
as the Matrix. Like Dave can just see all
Yeah.
the money lines.
But then it faded. He was having a spectacular
So-
season.
So this summer you've kind of gone back a little bit, but does that
Baseball doesn't count.
Does that set up a possible run this fall?
Never know.
You never know.
I'll tell you when it happens. You'll know.
I'm sure he'll tell everybody.
Gambling is
He won't
life's
shut up
great
about
reality
it.
show.
He won't shut up about it. All right, that was the weekend preview presented by Bud Light. We're going to go to a new segment, Brandon Walker. This is your time to shine. This is One Blade Trivia with our guy, Brandon Walker. One Blade is the one tool that will let you trim, edge, and shave any length of your facial hair with a single pass. It's easy to use, and it's versatile. One Blade does it all. Take
My
the
time
stage.
to shine. This is trivia every week. I'm going to give you a trivia question. Well, not you guys. You guys don't answer. But everybody out there using hashtag OneBladeTrivia. Here is the question. Question number 1. There are 3 Power 5 teams in college football who have never won 10 games in a regular season. Again, 3 Power 5 teams that have never won 10 games in a regular season. Who are those 3 teams? I asked you this question earlier to crowdsource it.
You got it right away?
And not right away.
I think I got 3 out of 5.
He worked on it, and
I
he
had
got
2
it.
that I got wrong, and then I guessed and guessed. I had 5 guesses, and I got 3 after 5 guesses.
So that's one blade trivia. 3 Power 5 teams, never won 10 games in a regular season. That's up to you guys. We'll reveal the answers next week, and we'll reveal the winner next week. And somebody,
This is the hardest I've
somebody
seen Dave think in a long
Is he,
time. You think you
do
got
I
it?
don't give a I mean, look at my hair.
No, I'm just brainstorming right now. It's a good question.
I'll tell you if you got any right. Let me see.
Okay, well, if you guys out there submit
I do.
your
Yeah,
answers-
that's
you have
2.
2?
Does he have 2?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what is the top
Those
one?
are your first 2
Yes,
guesses?
that's 2.
No,
Yeah.
that's
The
second.
third you won't get. The third I got. You won't get the third.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah,
The
pretty
third you won't
impressive brain power. Took me what, 20 seconds
He
to
got
do that?
the first 2
The
also in
workshop?
about 20 or 30 seconds.
And the third is tough, and that was where I started answering wrong and then got it after the third guess.
That's one blade trivia.
Yeah, well, for those of you that are out there watching, if you do have the answers, hashtag One Blade Trivia. The first person to get it right gets a One Blade from Phillips Norelco, and you get some Barstool merch. So go ahead and do that, hashtag One Blade Trivia. All right, Dave, your favorite person's about to come on set. Big Ev. It's his time to shine.
The big boy.
The big boy. He's going to come stand right next to you.
Get kicked out of any casinos lately, Big Ev?
No,
Good, buddy.
Haven't been since. We learned.
So it's viral moments.
All right, the first viral segment of the week. This lady who I found out today was Marcus Lemonis' wife.
Who?
Marcus
He was a
Lemonis?
guy who does like a CNBC show.
The Prophet.
Okay.
And his wife was salivating over Manny Diaz's dumper. Salivating.
Oh.
You know what that kind of looks like, Dan? When I checked your ass
Yeah,
out
it does. Yeah.
at the casino.
It's tough.
She even gave it the head nod.
But here's the thing, though, is like she actually looks like she's for sure lusting after him. Like there are people saying that I was disgusted when I was
No,
checking
you were
out.
lusting. That Manny Diaz is a good-looking guy.
You want to know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of the secretary from The Longest Yard.
I used to love you. Underwear commercials.
Who makes Adam Sandler take pictures in his
All
underwear.
right, first of all, The Longest Yard, if you're
Yeah,
going to
you
talk
did the
about
wrong
it, it's
one.
Burt Reynolds.
Listen, I'm young.
You
I'm young.
moron.
I love Adam Sandler. I'm
You
young.
fatso.
I'm young.
Sorry, that was unneeded.
But this reminds me of, I could see somewhere down the line they need to get rid of a recruiting violation, like something's going wrong, and she's got to do something about it, and that's what she's going to need.
Yeah,
she's going to need Manny Diaz to take pictures in his office in his underwear.
And she didn't hide that at all. But what can you do?
The next viral moment, this is my DJ Khaled, you played yourself moment of the week.
Oh.
Felipe Franks talking crazy shit on the sideline. I do this, all that. Then immediately throws probably the worst interception I've ever seen in such a crucial moment of the game.
He stinks.
I think Felipe Franks got worse in the offseason.
Like,
I
this
think he
interception
spent
is
the
just,
offseason
that is just,
getting
like,
worse
that is
at football.
horrendous.
Can I just say that's also 100% on Dan Mullen? Throwing
Oh,
the
you
ball
can't-
up
look at-
4.
I
with
think he
Steve
was
Spurrier's
trying to
Steve Spurrier's
I think he
face
was
says
trying
it
to
all.
cover the spread.
You think so?
And I appreciated that because I had this. I thought he was trying to cover it.
That was, run the ball there.
I mean, it just, you saw
Yeah,
Steve
but
Spurrier's
Felipe
face,
Franks
he's
still
just flummoxed.
still
No, Felipe
stinks. I mean,
Franks is
doing
terrible.
that on the sidelines, like I'm rooting for that guy to lose now because he acted like that.
Yeah.
Next, we have Cole McDonald's hair, the Hawaii quarterback, who maybe had the best transition in the history of college football. Look at that
wow.
change. Those are luscious blonde dreads.
Wow.
I like him.
Before?
Before.
Yeah.
I do too.
I love
Like
the
that's
I just
it's
love
not a glow up. I don't really know what you would describe
No,
that as.
he's like a good-looking guy, but he looks.
But he
just
wants you
I
to
just
the
see. I
island,
just
shit
love.
happens.
I just
Yeah,
love
It's like
the
Blanca
island
from
in
Street
Hawaii
Fighter.
with that
Yeah.
uniform,
I
the
mean,
blonde
yeah,
dreads
you
hanging
think
out.
you like the island?
Love the island.
I mean, look at you.
Yeah, I love the island.
You're an island
You
guy.
look like. Speaking of Adam Sandler, what's that movie where who's the actress? She forgets every day it's a new day and he has
50 First Dates.
Yeah, and there's a
Moore?
huge fat friend. You could be the huge fat friend of
The one that
Adam
lives in
Sandler
Hawaii?
Who lives in Hawaii.
I think we need to do a Dave fat shaming Big Ev count.
I'm not fat shaming. That's not fat shaming. I could care less if someone's fat. He's fat. That's just a fact.
It's true. Then last we have this Arizona player who got an unsportsmanlike conduct for giving high fives to a fan after a touchdown.
That's garbage.
I just don't like.
That's fucking garbage.
It's crazy.
That's garbage. College refs are out of control. That's garbage. And they affect games. That's garbage.
I mean, it was so like it's not even anything. He literally just
That's
gives a guy a high
garbage.
five.
That's
What was
garbage.
there? Did they have a reason for it? Has that
They,
ever
they
been
literally just threw
illegal?
the flag. Like I don't know
But,
where.
but
Like
it's
it's
never
so
been
specific.
illegal, right? Like
My
players
own-
jump into the stands.
My guess would be
Not in
just.
college, they don't.
I guess it's all after the
College,
game.
you literally can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
Listen, I would say it must have been triggered by just the contact with a fan alone. I feel like that has to be.
It's excessive celebration. That's college football.
That's almost as bad as not being able to do horns down. Almost
Well,
as
that's
bad.
what I mean. Anything you do in college football is
no fun.
All right, Big Ev, I've got one for you before we wrap up. Your boy Urban Meyer at the game last week wearing a Florida polo. How'd that make you feel?
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, he won national championships at Florida. Like, what should I expect? Like, he's a Florida guy too. He likes Florida. He likes Ohio State. I don't have a problem with it at all. It didn't bother me.
I have a question for your new day. That's the slogan.
It's a new day.
But to me, that basically that is an Ohio State guy putting his hand up, which I respect, taking accountability. Like, we ran a dirty program. We didn't care about women's rights. We didn't care about anything. It's a new day. This black past, this black cloud is behind us. Is that what that means?
Listen, I mean, the urban era
Is that
had
what
a lot
that
of
means?
it had a lot of highs. It had some lows.
Is that what that means?
I don't
though?
condone any of the behavior. This would be, I wouldn't mind, maybe they put a little domestic violence number right here. For
Well, doesn't it look
any
like
issues
Urban's
that go on,
trying
get
to-
help?
Yeah. So does that mean like we want to forget everything that happened with Urban because
the night
it's a
was
new day?
long,
Right.
and
It's
a
a new
lot
day.
of people
Tough night.
had to cover up domestic violence
Because
issues.
you
Now
don't
it's a new
say
day.
it's a new day unless you're embarrassed by your past.
Right.
You just
A
don't.
lot of
I mean,
sketchy
I was
things.
embarrassed by him hiring Zach Smith. Yes. I'm
So you're
by
embarrassed by Ohio State's past under Urban?
I'm embarrassed by him hiring Zach Smith.
By the Urban's era.
I'm
Oh, so
embarrassed by him.
I like what you did right there. You were not embarrassed by Urban Meyer
putting it all on
covering
Jackson.
up domestic violence. You are embarrassed. Urban Meyer's only fault is hiring someone.
I mean, he's
That's
at
a Rick
he's at
Pitino.
check
That's
and
a
pass.
school out of Rick Pitino. The only thing he did wrong was trust people too much.
Right.
Well, no, he made an awful character decision.
But the
bringing on
new
this guy.
day does insinuate let's get past, forget, move on from what was a debacle and institutional chaos and abusing women, all that.
I mean, I'd like to forget domestic violence. I would
Right,
like
so
to.
let's just forget everything that happened. How many people enrolled for his morals and leadership class that he's teaching at Ohio State?
Usually only like athletes can take those classes.
That's an interesting class, Urban, about like ethics and doing the right thing. Interesting class at Ohio State.
Would you take the class, Big Ev?
You probably needed it after the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I probably would. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not?
I wonder
if
what
they let me take it.
I wonder what they teach in that class.
All right, so those are the viral moments of the week. Big Ed, we also have a Game Face challenge going on this year.
Oh yeah, so with Norelco, we are launching a Game Face challenge for the best fans of college football. What you need to do is you need to either shave the logo of your team, either in your head, your beard, wherever you got hair. Send it to us at Barstool CFB, hashtag Game Face Challenge, and we will feature the best ones in the show next week.
Love it.
Are you going to shave an Urban Meyer face into your hair?
Maybe if you have, maybe in my chest hair, I've got some nice chest hair, maybe a little the right there.
I'm glad that he's gone. I think New Day is
Well, of
appropriate.
course you are, because you got the shit kicked out of you.
No.
It's not going to change with Ryan Day,
He kicked
though.
your dick in
Yes, it
every
is.
single
No, it's
year.
not.
Yes,
Listen,
it is.
Of course you're glad he's
What
gone.
happens in between the white lines is gamesmanship.
But you
football,
saying
it's
you're
a
glad
game.
he's gone
For
is the
the
most
sake of-
obvious thing of all time.
the
You
sake of
couldn't
every
beat him
female on that
in a
campus.
million tries. You wouldn't
For-
be able to beat
for
Urban
the,
Meyer.
For the sake of every female on that campus and safety.
Now I'm defending him, and I don't
will
want
say-
to do that.
You're
But
defending
you
domestic
saying,
abuse is
well,
what
but
you're
you
defending.
saying you're happy that Urban Meyer's
because
leaving?
I'm pro-woman and pro-safety.
You're just
I
happy
want,
that maybe
I
you will
want
keep it
every
close.
girl on that campus in Columbus to be safe when they're walking out their front door.
Definitely not coming from a place of hate. Let's go to the PointsBet locks of the week. And this year, you guys get to get involved. If you deposit $50, you get $100 in bonus bets using promo code Barstool. Dave, I know we kind of gave yours away earlier, but why don't you go ahead
Yeah,
and start
so
it?
I took Northwestern plus 6.5. I agree with my weird haircut friend over there.
No.
I'm talking to you, Brian Walker. I think Stanford could actually. I think Northwestern could win this game straight up. I will say I didn't know about that promo we're running, so I will pay attention to that because I don't think Northwestern's going to score a ton of points. So that kind of sucks. But I think Northwestern wins this game. At the very least, it's close. Like, even if Stanford is the better team, which maybe they are, it's still going to be close because Stanford doesn't blow anybody out, and Northwestern sticks with everybody. So I do think this will be a very close game. Northwestern could win.
Big Ev, what you got?
I'm going East Carolina plus 16.5, in-state rivalry. I know East Carolina has a new coach. Brandon Walker pointed out to me before this. But, I mean, NC State lost an NFL guy, was started there for a while, had a 3-quarterback competition. From what I've heard, it's kind of the lesser of the evils. They stink. I think they keep it within 16.
This is at NC State?
Yes, at NC
East Carolina was horrific last year.
I know they were.
So bad.
I know they were. I don't think they're going to win it all. I think they keep it decently close.
I love their field. East Carolina's. They have one of those logos that's too
Yeah,
big
yeah,
for
yeah,
the 50-yard line.
It looks clownish.
Yeah,
East
yeah.
Carolina,
It's absolutely
I forget who's the quarterback. A couple years ago, they used to score like 80 a game.
Yes,
They
yes.
were a fun
yes,
team to bet on.
Yes.
Dan, what you got?
I took Ole Miss versus Memphis over 66.5. I don't know anything about either of these teams, but I just saw their names. That's an over.
Is the
You
Ole
could have
Miss
said
quarterback
85,
back?
and I would have been
that
like,
kid's back, right?
No, he's not. They got a freshman.
I don't care.
quarterback.
This is the problem with college.
This is the problem.
They all leave.
They got a freshman quarterback, but Ole Miss has given up at least 30 or 35
We hate Ole
points.
Miss, though.
At least
Great.
35 points the last
hates
3
Ole
years,
Miss.
every
Great.
SEC game.
Thank you. This isn't an SEC game.
Memphis is pretty good, though.
Okay.
Memphis
That's
is really
again,
good.
that's just because you hate
I
Ole
like
Miss.
it. Your bet's right.
I'm betting this solely on the names that I'm looking at. I couldn't name one player on either team. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the names that are playing, and that just says over. I think
Memphis
are they playing at noon? Are they
Brady
playing
White.
at noon?
Mm-hmm.
They're playing at noon?
Right.
Perfect, even
Yeah.
better. That one's going to be, Dave, that's going to be one of those games where you turn on ESPN, and the ticker will show 7-0, 14-51.
Memphis beat them.
That's what's going to happen.
Memphis beat them
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, they did. And Memphis runs one of the fastest offenses in
Yep.
the country.
Yeah, it's going to be, and then boom, the ticker shows 7-7, 13-7,
Yeah.
47.
And you're sweating it for a while?
Oh,
No,
I'm
no,
never
no,
sweating
never-
it. No.
never sweat.
It's going to be like
That-
boom,
there's-
boom, boom,
there's-
boom,
Oh,
boom.
you're saying it's going to happen
There's-
like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Okay.
it'll be
He's
I thought
right.
you meant like
7 a
by the
minute and a
beginning.
half into the game.
Dan's right. There's 2 games every opening where you get the quick 7-0, then they show it, you think they're doing the 7, and then it's gone either 14-7, and you're golden.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, what you
I
got?
think that's a great bet.
Thank
What I
you.
got, I don't want to be a homer who comes on here and picks his own team because that would be a bad look, but it's a very disrespectful
Wanna see my
line.
haircut?
It's a very disrespectful line. We'll talk about my haircut in a little while.
You teed that one up.
Mississippi State played 4 non-conference games last year, won by an average of 49-6. They beat UL Lafayette 56-10 last year. They're laying 20 this time in New Orleans. Mississippi State's going to win by 35 points. There are some suspensions, but they're all on
What
defense.
happened?
There were some things. It hasn't been in the papers or anything. We're not going to talk about it. There were some things. There's 2 starters suspended. They're both on defense. Not a big deal. State's going to score and score a lot. Mississippi State minus 20 over UL Lafayette.
How many times this year you think you're going to take Mississippi State?
That'll probably be the only time.
Whoa.
There's no way
This
that's
number
true.
is just, I don't bet Mississippi
There's
State
no
a
way
lot.
that's true.
This
Well-
number is incredibly disrespectful.
That means I have to take it now. I asked that question for a specific reason.
Right.
Because I didn't know if you were the guy who was going to give us Mississippi State every week.
I don't think
You're
clearly
saying
enough.
this is a special occasion.
Right.
Take Mississippi State. You are a Mississippi State. I'm literally going to put this in as soon as we're done taking
This number should be 35 points.
I have 2 games. Now I'm going to bet them, and I like
You have to bet them, Dave. He said he wasn't going to bet them every week.
I can't think clearly when it comes to Mississippi
But
State.
you're thinking clearly here.
This is a disrespectful
You're
number.
on the hook now.
Because you just don't think the suspensions are going to matter, right?
They're on defense.
You
And
realize,
Mississippi
though,
State's-
that you're on the hook.
just so you know, defense matters. That's part of the game. Just saying they're all on defense, that matters.
It does. But
Because you play offense and defense.
I
If
feel
you-
like
if
Mississippi
your
State's
defense-
backups.
If your defense can't stop their offense, that's a problem.
State had the number 1 defense in the
I'm
country
just
last
saying,
year.
you keep saying, oh, they're
The
all
number
on
1
defense.
defense in the country last year. Bring back plenty, and the 2 guys that are suspended had nothing to do
I mean,
with
they definitely didn't have the number 1 defense in the country. For
They
real, though.
Have the number 1 defense in the country.
Statistically?
Yes. They had the number 1 defense in the country.
That's
they
true.
had 3 top first-round picks.
Yeah, but a couple teams tore them up, didn't they?
No, nobody scored more than 20.
LSU
27.
scored more than that,
They scored 19. Dick.
Bama?
7 overtimes?
24.
Oh, wait, that was Texas
24
A&M.
for Alabama.
But see how he get emotional he gets about Mississippi State?
No, I'm not
No,
getting emotional.
you realize though what you just did. You were
Oh,
on the
God.
hook. Because if I put Wisconsin as a mortal lock at any
Yeah.
point this season, I would expect everyone to bet it, and I'd be right.
Will you ring this cowbell on the show this year?
If you win this bet, because I'm going to put
You'll
it in
ring it
right
next
after
year?
this. Yes. No,
Dave,
we'll
will you
next
ring
week.
this year?
If you win this,
Yeah, I don't care.
I have a cowbell guy if you guys want one of these.
I do not want a
No,
cowbell.
cowbells are stupid.
All right, Kayce.
Don't they do the same thing? Don't they do
Your
like the
cheerleaders
cheer-
are all
the
men.
Cheer, the
Yeah, but
cheer
that's my
section?
school, so it's not stupid if it's my
They
school.
dress like
But that's
Batman.
stupid as well.
That
Why
is
don't you guys just watch football like regular fans?
Like
we
what?
do watch
Wisconsin
football
doesn't
like
have any
regular
fucking
fans.
traditions?
Not like, hey, let's hit a cowbell or have an
You
all-male
don't hit a cowbell,
cheerleading.
you ring a cowbell.
All right, let's go. I got another pick, too, when we're done with this. I got to mention.
Jack, what's your pick?
I got Oregon plus 3.5. Big game for Justin Herbert.
It's why Auburn. Everyone's
I got
This-
some Joe
this show's
Public
gonna
over
kill me.
here.
I'm gonna
Big
put in all these
game.
bets.
Big game for Justin Herbert for his NFL prospects. The Oregon offensive line contains the defensive line of Auburn, and Gus Malzahn's seat gets mighty hot after this game.
Yeah, he should have been fired already. I'm going to go Missouri minus 17.5 at Wyoming. I think that's disrespectful to Kelly Bryant. I think that's a very low spread.
Wyoming's a weird place to play,
I know,
though.
but I just love Kelly Bryant. It's not his fault that he lost to the best quarterback in the country by far. Like, he would be starting at Clemson and probably leading them to another national championship this year if he wasn't playing.
I actually
with
like
Trevor
Missouri.
Lawrence.
In the other pick that I had, that Dan, you'll appreciate this. I saw Louisiana Tech at Texas. Texas minus 20.5. They're wearing Cedric Pence's number on all the helmets.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And Dave mentioned this earlier. You guys get to ride along with us this year, so we have a personal pay dirt. Place a money line bet on any of our locks of the week, and for every touchdown your team scores, you get a $6 bonus. So now we actually have to be credible to the people for this.
Yeah, and you got to try, if you're trying to help these people, you can't pick Northwestern. Again, I didn't know that. I'm not,
Do you think Cedric Benson means something to kids that probably didn't see him play?
Me, I don't know.
Yeah, but number
Probably.
games always like that.
It's just an aura. Okay.
Yeah,
It's tough. You have to. That's how you have
the
to
numbers
handicap
on the
it.
helmet. The
I
kids
know.
would be like, you got the wrong number on my
They'll
helmet. They're
show
like, no,
video.
he died.
Yeah.
They'll show the kids video.
Just like
and
it's a
all that.
spiritual
Okay,
presence.
okay, all right.
Perception's reality with
I mean-
that. You can't like lose a numbers game.
I'm
like
just
that.
asking.
It's okay.
All right, let's go on to the Phillips Norelco top 10s. Phillips Norelco has the most innovative electric grooming to help you do what feels right. Last year, the top 10s was quite a source of debate. Dave, we're going to start with you, and no one's going to be surprised that you were the most predictable this year with your number one pick.
Well, I actually am dead serious. I think Michigan at worst makes the playoff this year. I think Jim Harbaugh is talking for the first time in a long time.
He did that though his first 2 years.
I only think he talks when he knows he has the goods. It reminds me of when Stanford beat USC. He's chirping a lot, so I have them as one.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact he knows Urban Meyer's not at Ohio
Maybe.
State anymore?
Yeah, it's a new day. And listen, it's not the easiest thing to do to beat cheaters. Clemson 2, Bama 3, Georgia 4, Notre Dame 5, LSU 6, Oregon 7, Kentucky 8. That's probably the surprise. Once again, I was the only team, only procrastinator. I don't think that's a procrastinator. College football expert who had Kentucky good last year. Cash Daniels sent us some merch. So
I know I can't talk bad about Kentucky this year because
yeah,
you
you
bribed
trashed
us.
them.
He didn't send me anything, so I can talk shit about
Yeah,
it.
you
I'll
can.
give you a sweatshirt.
Iowa, I think is going to have a good year. And Wisconsin, Big Ten. A lot of teams in the Big Ten. Big Ten is a football country. So there's my top 10. But I'm the first one to admit, preseason, I actually do not think there should be rankings until like week 5.
Because SEC just fucking does the thing where they rank everyone high and then they beat each other up and they're like, well, we beat this fucking team that was ranked 10th. Florida's 8th. Florida's not the 8th best team in the country.
Because you get a huge advantage. If you're early, you lose early. So I don't think there should be ranked. What, Brandon?
You don't have Oklahoma in your top 10.
That's right.
It's because he hates Oklahoma and he's always wrong about it.
But you think Jalen Hurts stinks.
Yeah, I don't know what you think about Oklahoma.
Okay,
You're telling me one
calm
thing on the
down.
podcast.
I'm just saying it's
telling me
odd
another
not to
thing
have
here.
him in the top 10. It's weird.
He does
Why?
that
Why is that
sometimes.
weird?
They
I
have
think-
been
did
in
you
the
forget
playoff
them?
the last 2 years.
Yeah, well.
Did you forget him, Dave?
No, I didn't forget them. They're not in here for a reason. I just said, I don't think you should do it. I don't think they're going to be that great. I don't think they play any defense. I think the kid who was quarterback last year hit a ton of problems. With him gone, I think it's be a big difference.
They have Jalen Hurts now, though.
No shit. We talked about it for 45 minutes today. Jalen Hurts is not the number one pick in the NFL draft. He lost his fucking starting job.
That's correct.
All right, Big Ev, top 10.
Well, I mean, I do agree that preseason top 10s are stupid, but Ohio State not being in there is crazy.
Well, I don't recognize that program.
It's a new day, though. I have Clemson 1. I have Georgia 2 because I do believe this is the year that Georgia gets over the hump and finally beats Bama. I got Ohio State. I am high on LSU at 5 because I do like Joe Burrow. He was kind of like a game manager last year. I think he makes a big leap. He was very good at Ohio State. He actually was legitimately competing with Dwayne Haskins for that starting job before he left. Then the rest, I mean, I'm not crazy about Florida. Their defense is great. I don't love Franks. And I threw Texas in there at 10 because even though I generally don't like Texas, I love the horns down. But I do think this is a year that they're better than they have been.
Dan?
Okay, so I pretty much went normal for the first 5. Actually, for the first 7. And then I kicked Florida out, moved Oregon up. Michigan's 9 and Utah 10.
Just looking at these things, everyone's like, oh, I don't have Ohio State. We have 6 people here. All Michigan is every single one except one person's. And that's the one who went to Criminal U. So,
Big F doesn't have Michigan?
No, they're not good.
Okay,
they're
yeah,
not
so that's
deserving.
actually good.
They're not deserving as a football team.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not taking them off for like off the field. On the field, they stink.
Criminal use.
On the field, they are frauds.
I mean, Shea Patterson
They are
doesn't
frauds.
stink.
10 games last year with
Shea
the
Patterson is a
Hardball's
fraud.
Yeah, well, when
Hardball's
you
a fraud.
Yeah, all right.
They're all
convict you.
frauds.
Yep, okay.
Utah, though, I think Utah will go 12-0.
Brandon?
Hello, Kayce. All right, so I've got same as everybody else. Clemson number 1 till they get beat. I don't really have anything interesting until Michigan at number 5. I do think they're going to beat Ohio State. I do think they're going to win the Big Ten. Shea Patterson, senior quarterback. I like him. I like that team. I like the offense with Josh Gaddis.
Why?
Because
he's literally never called a play.
Because under Jim Harbaugh last year,
So it's more an indictment on Harbaugh.
they put him in the
that.
pro form offense.
Yeah,
they put him in
yeah.
the I form. But now if they open it up, I think that opens up Shea Patterson, who he should have been the whole time.
I'm fine with that reasoning. I just don't know about saying Josh Gaddis when he hasn't called a play.
We have
he could be great.
We have to see it.
Right.
But I like it. I don't like Justin Fields at all. I think we're a year too soon
Can
on
I ask
Justin
you a
Fields.
question?
Yes.
And this could be for Dave too. Michigan, fourth quarter, let's say there's 4 minutes left in the game, they're down a touchdown. Is Josh Gaddis calling a play or is Jim Harbaugh?
Josh Gaddis.
I think Josh Gaddis. I know you didn't ask me.
I'd rather Gaddis.
I think
Okay,
he's
but
committed.
who
I
do
think
you
Harbaugh's
think?
committed to it.
Who do you
Harbaugh.
think?
I think Harbaugh.
Right. That's
I got
that's what my point
formation.
is.
I got LSU 7, Florida 8, Notre Dame, and then I also like Utah a whole lot.
Jack, what do you got?
I got Clemson at 1, Georgia, Alabama following them. I agree with Brandon. Michigan, I think this is the year that they overtake Ohio State.
What's your answer to my question?
It's going to be Jim Harbaugh, but I believe in him.
Okay.
5th, Oklahoma, big year for Jalen Hurts. 6th, Ohio State. You have a good team, Big Av, but
Thank you.
it's going to be the first time in a while you lose.
Doubt it.
Assuming you can keep everyone out of jail.
Yeah, that's a good point. Great point,
It's
Dave.
a new day.
God, I don't want to hear that
LSU,
anymore.
Notre Dame at 8, Mississippi State at 9. I think I believe in this team more than Brandon does, which is kind of an indictment on Brandon.
It's not an indictment on me. Jack, that's crazy.
No, I think it may be.
Number 9?
Yeah, number 9.
That's crazy.
Believe for a minute.
10,
I believe.
Utah. I think I should
He
have
also
that.
tried to tell me on us, Sarah,
I have
to
Utah
say he
going
thinks
0-1.
that Joe Moorhead is a better coach than Jimbo Fisher.
Whoa.
Jack Mack said that.
What's Mississippi State ranked right now?
Whoa. I
not.
never said that. I
Yeah.
never said that.
I think if Mississippi State
They're
makes
not-
it to the top 10, then Jack Mack should be able to take your chair for that week.
Ooh, yeah.
They're not ranked?
They're not
Not
ranked.
ranked right now.
Which
What's
is
the bet?
a
I
joke.
think you make Brandon Walker sit in
get
that
in the top
chair.
10.
If he gets in the top 10.
We have an easy schedule in September. Then we play.
So how about let's say top 7?
No, what if they get in the top 10 and he holds it till they're out?
Right.
I'll agree. Top
Okay.
7.
Ooh, I
I'll
like
agree.
that.
He can Jack can have my chair. Yeah.
Top 10 or top 7?
Top 7.
Top
I
7.
think
All right, that's fair. Top
Alabama's
7.
toughest game this year is at Mississippi State.
I would agree with that.
Okay. So if Mississippi State gets 7 or higher at any point in the season for that stretch, Jack Mack gets your
Why?
cue.
Who's Alabama? Were they
Alabama's playing at A&M. I would say that's probably tougher.
what at home?
that's
LSU and
debatable,
Georgia?
okay.
Is that
It's not.
you?
LSU hasn't scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd say
I love
It's
they
definitely
struggle
not
at
Mississippi
Mississippi
They have literally
State.
not scored a
They
touchdown.
struggle there.
Who?
Alabama.
Depends on
At
the
Mississippi
catch.
State?
They're going to struggle at A&M too. We can say that. Speaking of, I have A&M at
59-0.
in my top 10.
Oh, dude.
I hope A&M's
that's
so
the
bad
first
this
time
year.
you
It's going to be
used
so
last year
awesome.
you
No.
were
You're,
crushing them.
you
This
know
year you
what?
think they're gonna be good.
You're delusional.
No,
That's
because,
why.
hey, listen,
I
no,
hope.
because next week we're going to
Yeah.
Clemson, and it's going to be the national champions versus Texas A&M. It's going to be a top 10 matchup. They almost beat them last year, only lost by 2.
Almost.
They actually
Without
played
Kelly
us.
Bryant,
You
they
get a
would've
ring
lost.
for almost beating the national champions?
No, you
It
don't.
ain't
No, you
credit
don't.
for that.
Yes, I did.
They just
That's what
hand
we
out
argued about
rings.
A&M and
I had
Kentucky.
A&M number 11. I got them
Oh,
right outside
man.
the top 10. They're going to be really good.
A&M's going to be Kellen Mond. First time there's a quarterback coming
Very
back
I
to
love
that year
this because
since Johnny
you know what it is?
Manziel.
It's the delusional side of the table and the realistic side of the table. This
How
is
is that
all
realistic?
delusional. He doesn't even think Mississippi State's going to be good.
But
He
That's
also
as
doesn't
realistic
think
as
that
it gets.
His Jalen Hurts argument is not delusional.
I'm talking about our own
I said
teams.
Texas
Oh, our
A&M's
own
going to be
teams.
good.
Our own teams. Our own
Kellen
teams.
Mond is very underrated.
You guys,
you.
I'm going to watch
Thank
you
you.
both crash and burn to earth, and it's going to be
Wait,
great.
you
no,
just
A&M's
wanted Mississippi State to go to number 7, so I would get
Well,
out
yeah,
of
that
the
was
chair.
something
I
separate.
actually think A&M will be good.
I do too.
Okay.
Is that delusional, Dan?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be good.
Based on what?
I think they just play in the SEC, and they're not a top-tier SEC.
That's a fact.
SEC team.
They are.
I'm not saying they're like overall nationally good football team in terms of their schedule and playing in the SEC. They won't finish the season without some, big-time losses.
Okay, well, they do play Clemson next week. We will be live there. So Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. at Amici, Clemson, which is 189 Old Greenville Highway. First live show right off the bat, fellas.
Love it.
Let's go.
It's going to be
Let's
fun.
go.
Any last thoughts, Brandon? How was
It's
your
gonna be
first
so
show?
hot in Clemson.
It's gonna be
Mississippi
disgusting.
State better cover this 20-point spread.
They're going to guaranteed. I guarantee it.
Wow.
What happens if they don't with that guarantee?
Dan,
What happens if they don't? Now we need a bet.
Dan and I talked about doing this type of stuff around this office and putting legislation. When you do a
Yes.
guarantee like that and you lose, there has to be repercussions.
What
There
is it
has
gonna
to
be?
be
1,000%.
repercussions.
I don't know.
You
like,
just
Let me save
guarantee-
my guarantee for later in the
like
season.
I don't
But
know.
you just
Like
said
you lose
it.
a
Let me
pinky,
save my
you
guarantee. I'm
pay.
saving my
Can you
guarantee.
take it back? Can you take back
I
a
can save my
guarantee?
guarantee.
No,
I didn't
you
know
need,
there'd be repercussions.
it needs to be like Cersei. She got to wear the shame.
I didn't know there was
walking
legislation.
around naked through the office. Shame,
Well, you
shame,
can't just.
shame.
We take that stuff seriously.
I didn't know there was legislation, Dave.
Well,
Here's the
I
problem.
guarantee it. Yeah, because you know what I just did?
Yeah.
I'm like running to put a
Right.
max unit
Great.
play on it because you, which I don't trust you at all, but you, the way you said it.
Well, bet it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your money.
All right, we'll see you guys next week at Clemson.